5-star defensive lineman and the #1 defensive lineman in the class of 2025. Elijah Griffin has committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. 6'4", 300 pounds, an absolute problem out of the state of Georgia, given his pledge to Kirby Smart. What does it mean for the Dogs? What are the Dogs getting in Elijah Griffin? We'll talk about all that right now, but make sure you subscribe right here to the On3 YouTube channel. We got reactions on commitments like this. We got game predictions. We got analysis year-round around the greatest sport on the face of the planet. Want you dialed in to the nth degree. Georgia fans, go ahead and subscribe and lock in with us. We appreciate you for that. So it's always funny, I think, whenever you try to have a conversation around, what you try and break down a high-profile defensive lineman's game at the high school level as they project to the collegiate ranks, especially someone who's the #1 defensive lineman in America currently, in Elijah Griffin, like he is. Like, what are you getting? What do you see with him? I mean, with most of these guys, you see absolute freak shows. Like, there's a reason why they're going to go play football in the SEC, and Elijah Griffin is no different. 6'4", 300 pounds. He's active, he's twitchy, he's productive. 35.5 sacks between his sophomore and junior year. Y'all, that's road to glory numbers. So clearly Elijah Griffin is a problem. He will be a problem, I believe, once he gets his feet underneath him at Georgia. Whether that's sooner or whether that's later, he's going to be a dog, both literally in the sense that he's going to Georgia, and then from a metaphorical perspective, when he steps on the field, they're getting a dude, right? There's no way around that. Now, there's a lot of conversation, I think, with where Georgia sits here going forward in the 12-team college football playoff era and realignment within the SEC, and to some degree, those are fair discussions to have. Like, this, not to take anything away from the other school, but make no mistake, this is what Georgia and Kirby Smart does. Like this is who they are. There's a lot changing in college football. I mentioned realignment, the 12-team playoff. The game itself, you're seeing a lot more of a quarterback-centric approach from different teams. That's totally fine. You know what doesn't change? The line of scrimmage. You know what doesn't change? Physics. Big people, like Elijah Griffin, will still move small people. And so going forward now, they have this working advertisement at Georgia that says, hey, if you come and play here, if you develop and you put in the work and you trust our process, one, you're going to be an absolute problem when it's your time to touch the field. And then second, you're probably going to get drafted at a pretty high level. And then who knows, maybe you'll go play for the Eagles. Go ask guys like Jalen Carter about that. Like, Georgia majors in getting defensive linemen to the next level. So obviously on their way to the next level, they do a good bit of damage at the collegiate level as well. So the point I'm trying to make here is, with all the discussion around what Georgia's going to be here going forward, as long as they major in the line of scrimmage like they're doing right now in this 2025 class, they're going to be in good shape. Like, yes, Texas is playing great football. I expect them to be a factor here in the long run. Ohio State, Oregon, same thing. But you land the #1 defensive lineman in America, you go ahead and match him with 5-star edge Isaiah Gibson, Georgia's going to be a problem. They're not going anywhere. All right, just make sure that's very, very clear. As long as we have the guys that we like in the trenches under Kirby Smart, we're going to have more than a puncher's chance any given Saturday, any given season. So, Elijah Griffin, committed to Georgia, a big-time get in a literal and metaphorical sense for the Dogs and Kirby Smart. Georgia fans, again, make sure you're subscribed, but get at me on social media, Instagram and on Twitter. Let me know what you think of this commitment for the Dogs. That's at JD Pickell on both those platforms. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Make sure you are subscribed. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.